Hello everyone, welcome back to my workbench up here in the study at Donget's Model Railway. I have a new to me Hornby Class 153 on the workbench today for commissioning. I'm fitting a Zimmo MX600R DCC decoder. This is the last of my old stock 8-pin decoders. I'm also going to try the Bachmann functional BSI NEM pocket coupler in it to see how well that works. The specific version of the 153 I have here is 153303 or R2759. Testing a loco on DC before messing with it is always a good idea. The lights are working as I'd expect in both directions. Slow speed control is okay, not great. Getting the body off a Hornby 153 is all clips, there are no screws. Looks like I have a broken table in the interior. Add that to the list of things to fix. Good to see pin 1 of the 8-pin socket is marked properly. That makes fitting the chip much easier than when it isn't. Fitting the functional BSI couplers requires removing the cosmetic ones first, as they occupy the same space. The cosmetic ones unclip and can be refitted later if desired. The NEM pockets on this model are not easy to install couplers in. It took a while to get them properly seated. If you are enjoying this video or finding it useful, hit the like button. If you want to see more of my layout or the stock I run on it, hit the subscribe button. If you have a question, comment or suggestion, write it in the comment section below. Let's see if I can get this table to glue back down. There's not a lot of surface area here, so it's going to be a bit difficult, but hopefully I can get it to work. No, don't do that. Let's try that again. Third time lucky, or am I going to need to resort to attaching the table with alternative methods? Little tiny spigot that pushes in somehow. If that stays in place long enough to get the body back on, we'll call that one a win. This is pictured on the tightest curve I have, and likely as tight as anyone's going to run one through. The Bachmann functional BSI couplers do fit, but the shortened version I showed in this video do not fit if you have curves this tight. The back of the coupler hits the lower edge of the cab. Just to show you how severe this curve is though. Yeah, it's definitely a sharp one. It's not running very well. The wheels are filthy. Let's start by cleaning them. I'm using a glass fibre pen to clean the dirt off the wheels. On the unpowered wheels, I can spin the wheel by hand, holding the pen still. This will clean the entire wheel. For the powered wheels, you can't turn them by hand. They must be turned by power, and each time you can only clean a small part of the wheel. A handy hint for finding dirt on motorised wheels which you can't turn by hand. Rather than trying to rotate the wheels by a quarter turn and then stop the train each time, just set the controller to the lowest speed step and wait for it to stall. A new area of dirt will be presented to you each time this happens. With it running much better now, let's tune the ABC stopping distance. That's pretty accurate across the speed range. I'm happy with that. I'm tuning the speed profile for a prototypical top speed, but also to match the Class 150s that it'll likely end up running in multiple with. I've covered how I do this previously on this channel, but a quick recap. It just so happens that two of the frames of the layout are precisely 3 meters apart. I've got a chart of scale miles per hour to 3 meter traversal time, and I'm using a timer on an old cell phone. Is it the most accurate way of doing it? No. Are there more technical solutions? Yes. But it's how I've done everything else, including all the units that this is intended to run in multiple with. And it's also a technique that anyone can use on any decoder on any layout. The Bachmann NEM BSI coupler works. Here it is coupled to a second generation Bachmann 158. And a first generation Bachmann 150, also using the NEM pocket coupler. This all works, but the distance between the gangways is a bit large. As a comparison, here's the 158 and the 150. It's a shame the shortened version of the coupling doesn't fit, as that would reduce the gap nicely. But as I said earlier, it hits the lower front of the cab on anything tighter than a fairly wide radius curve. Obviously the gangways are much farther apart when the train is put on a radius 2 curve. What I'm really testing here is not that, but whether the couplers remain connected and are not stressed. If there's a lot of stress on a coupler, this can lead to derailments. Let's give these a run. I'm testing this with both the 158 and the 150. It seems to be running fine in multiple with both units. This turned into a bit of a Regional Railways running session, to be honest. If you want to see more of the units running on the club layout, let me know in the comments and I'll put something together. See you next time up here in the study at Donget's Model Railway.